Yo, man, squad, if you like any of the cards you see in today's video, you can go ahead and show the channel some love with the affiliate link down below for TCG Player. TCG Player is going to have whatever it is you're looking for, and you can even search for some of your local game stores and buy from them and show them some love as well. And speaking of showing the channel love, another great way to do so is by rocking into the AM. Got the discount code on screen and down below. You can show us some love, look good in the process, and as Kenneth the Heathen loves to say, something about dripping in space and screaming.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Command Center. We would like to put our favorite commander, maybe even yours, front and center. And you know we can't do that unless we play those three timey-wimey letters, E-D-H. What does it stand for today, Dr. Hadoken?
You know what? I'm surprised you guys don't get this because it's we say it every time. It stands for Extraterrestrial Doctor's Help. That's right, everybody. It's time to get to our favorite time traveling show, The Avengers Endgame. That's right, the snap hair, everybody. But to talk about our backup, we're gonna get into Doctor Who and some of our favorite things coming from the new Commander sets coming out.
Doctor Who's the dude from the Avengers, right?
Yeah, he's the one with the bow and arrow.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah,
the one that Robert Downey Jr. calls Zelda.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Now we're following.
Zelda is the one with the green hat, elf, master sword. Yeah, we're there.
Yeah.
Yeah. He says, "I choose you, Pikachu."
Exactly. Oh,
There
we're
we
gonna
go.
get so much hate.
So we're gonna do kind of a brief overview about what this whole Doctor Who crossover is, kind of what it entails, and we're gonna get into the deck specifically, some of our favorite things, kind of a high level look of how we feel about it and what these decks do. Because look, however people feel about Universes Beyond, so far every time they've released a deck with it, they've been spicy.
Yeah.
You look at the Warhammer stuff, you look at
Lord of the Rings.
It's been some like crazy fun stuff in there. So as someone who obviously is an expert about Doctor Who, as has been made apparent, obviously I'm excited, but I think everyone else who, like, unlike me, doesn't know anything might be excited too.
So to give you a brief overview of Doctor Who, it's about a criminal who escapes from his planet as a criminal. I'm just kidding. The Doctor is from a planet called Gallifrey. The Doctor has various incarnations when he dies, which is why he changes into different people. But he escapes from his home world in the midst of a battle, and pretty much tries to find a way to get back to his planet because he believes that Gallifrey is gone. And now
it's almost like Teferi and the phasing out of Zelfir.
Exactly. So basically, and that's what he's doing. Basically, he's plane chasing across different dimensions to find his way home. One of the home planets that he's made his new home is Earth, which is where he finds various companions to join him, his motley's crew.
Yeah, and they've managed to put all of the different doctors, companions, villains, everything into this set.
I didn't see the silence, but okay, that's just neither here nor there.
The silence is here.
Okay, I didn't see.
Ken doesn't look. So this is my favorite part about this.
No. So be fair.
Ken is
if you see the silence, you will forget.
Exactly. I forgot that I saw the card. And to be fair, one of my favorite villains is "Are You My Mummy?" and I didn't see that either. So yeah.
Which one was that one?
The kid with the face mask.
I'll let you know.
One of my favorite things is that Ken is the Whovian. I don't think he's looked at any of the cards yet, so this is gonna be a real time experience.
I just like the deck that I chose.
All right, so we're gonna talk about some of the overall themes and everything for it. So yes, for Doctor Who for this crossover, it's 4 commander decks. So it's not like a draftable set. It's 4 different commander decks, and you got the different themes and everything, and we'll get into the specifics of the different color combinations, what the decks represent, and everything like that. So we're getting 4 commander decks, new mechanics, themes, things like that. It's really 2 main things. One, it's not new, but they're bringing back plane chase, which from what you've described sound like that's basically a big flavor hit as far as how this is going to work. I personally love plane chase. No people have mixed feelings, but I think it's a really fun way, especially when decks are built around it and there's different things that can trigger chaos and all those. Seems like a really fun idea. So plane chase is a big thing. There's also going to be companions. So don't run away. Don't scream. Don't like bash your head against the wall. It's not the traditional companion mechanic. So Legacy is not going to break, I hope. And we're not going to see Luris running around in every Legacy deck. It's different. It's basically partner. So basically how this is Doctor's companion now. So it seems like, if you have a companion in this or in any format and it dies, it just goes away forever. Commander, you don't like that. You want to have it stick around. So with Doctor's companion, it's almost like friends forever. It's partner with, essentially. So you have a doctor, and then you can have a companion for that doctor and you have this partner combination. Really cool. I really love partner, but I think it's just terrifies me when they just print the word partner. So having this like flavorful version that limits it to what's in these makes it less scary, and I feel like a flavor win again based on what you're describing.
And I want my companion to partner with Lucas.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what that means. Is this the Stranger Things thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I was thinking of Smash Bros for a second when you said it.
I was like, PK Fire. But anyway, and one of the things about it, especially if you are a Who fan and you love the show, that is one of the most exciting things is that when you do cast your commanders, your doctors, you get to actually have your favorite companion right there next to it. So one of the best parts about Commander games is that you get to tell a story.
Yeah, and when these decks, you're going to get multiple doctors. You'll have multiple companions. One side note is make sure that you have the right color combination. So if you open one of these and you're like, oh, this is my favorite doctor, this is my favorite companion, the whole deck is 3 colors, and all of a sudden you got 2 colors, just be careful of that, because that would definitely throw things off a little bit.
That can actually happen. For example, if you put the 10th doctor with the Dr. Donna, then you can't play green. I mean, you can't play white now. So,
but if you believe in yourself through the power of friendship, maybe you can.
No, we just cheated, Commander. You know what? Color combinations don't matter to us. I have put the world tree in 2 color decks. Stop me. Stop me.
I got Gaia's Cradle in my Tower End deck. You gotta live dangerously. So the last thing is gonna be, you're gonna see a lot of different frame treatments, and obviously we're in the age where there's like 70 different printings of each card.
Yeah.
Just as a heads up, they're also having collector's boosters. So if you're seeing, they have serial cards and all that type of stuff again. But if you see like a crazy looking frame, if you see this weird foil, those are not necessarily going to be in the pre-con. So definitely check. I don't want people like getting this pre-con thinking you're getting all these crazy frame cards and they're standard frames. Those will be in collector's boosters. So as a wise professor once said, buy singles. Do that. Make sure you're looking out and finding like the stuff that you want specific, because I find that cool. One thing, I like upgrading my decks, but for the Universes Beyond stuff, I like to keep it in universe because I'm OCD. So I kind of like the concept of like having fancier versions of what's in the pre-con to like upgrade with. But you don't need to. The decks are fully functional. The pre-cons lately beat every one of my decks consistently.
I like to live dangerous when I crack packs. You know, I'm dangerous out there. Like, I'm wild. When I use the bathroom, I put the toilet seat part up and sit on the bowl.
I've seen it. And I'm still not okay.
Why have you seen? Never mind.
Let's move on to these decks and get into the specifics of them. So the first deck we're going to take a look at is going to be what they call the classic Doctor's deck. This is going to be the blue, white, green deck. And what is the title of that deck?
It's called Blast from the Past. Basically, This is all the incarnations that up until the 8th Doctor.
Yeah, it covers the show basically from the time frame of 1963 to 89. So all the OG Who fans are probably going to love this one. There's a lot of legends matters, historic matters, and the mechanic for this deck is historic. So it really falls into that.
That also brings back references to like the 7th or 8th Doctor, who was like crazy, and he actually woke up choking the Jesus out of one of his companions.
Blast from the past.
So what is the face commander for? Because again, we have all the options, but who's going to be the face commander?
The face is going to be the 4th Doctor. If you don't to recognize him, he's the Hogwarts reject with the long scarf that tangles everywhere. But that's the face of that card, the face of that deck.
Yeah. So the 4th Doctor is 2, a green and a blue for a legendary creature, Time Lord Doctor. You may look at the top card of your library at any time, and it also has the added ability of Would You Like which once each turn you may play a historic land or cast a historic spell from the top of your library, and when you do, create a food token. So everything kind of goes together. Obviously, there's a 3rd color in the deck, so you can pick your companion, but the whole theme of this deck is just going to be playing historic spells. It looks like some top deck manipulation and creating food tokens and other type of historic things so you can kind of get that engine rolling.
So, your soothsayings, your sensei's divining tops to help manipulate the top of your deck so that you can actually get more favorable outcomes. And I like this because instead of having your opening hand, you always have your top deck to rely on, which is always a plus.
Yes, you have... I like top deck manipulation because it is a weird form of card advantage. It's one of those things that it doesn't seem as obvious. If you have 30 cards in hand, everybody knows you're the threat. Everybody knows you're a problem. I almost really enjoy the concept of like, I only got 2 cards in hand. When on board, you have the means to just do a whole bunch of stuff and just pop off and draw it. And there's a lot of historic matters stuff that's already there. Did y'all have any specific cards that you enjoyed from this deck, or were there any like kind of caught your eye?
No, I'm gonna be honest. None from this deck in particular. Like I said, I focused on one deck in particular. But when we get there, oh, I got something to say.
Yeah, I just want to focus on my deck.
I got you. So I'll start with one of my favorites. And again, historic is also going to include sagas because that kind of adds into that.
Yeah.
So the Curse of Fenri is a card that really caught my eye that I thought seemed fun. So this is 2 green and a white for a saga.
Man, that's a lot of text.
It's a novel.
It's a whole book.
But I think it's a fun novel.
Wake me up when you're done.
Yeah, I got you. So the first part of the saga says, for each player, destroy up to 1 target creature that player controls.
Okay, I'm
Already got my attention. For each creature destroyed this way, its controller creates a 3/3 green mutant creature token with death touch.
So it's a Pteranodon.
It's almost, but for creatures, because Pteranodon specifically non-creatures. So it's almost like you're beast within a creature for each person, but it gets a 3/3 death toucher, so slightly better. But honestly, in Commander, you're taking everyone's best creature for a 3/3 death touch, and that's just the first ability for 4 mana. Then on the second ability, target non-token creature becomes a 6/6 legendary horror creature named Fenric and loses all abilities. So already, if you're playing, the versatility is what I love. You can take one of your creatures, make it a 6/6. So if you have some sort of like strategy where you have a 1/1 that has like an ability that is better if it's big, you can buff your own creature. Or if you want to just completely neuter one of your opponent's commanders, bam, it's a 6/6 and it loses all abilities. Because notably, it's not until end of turn.
Oh no.
Target creature becomes Fenric and loses all abilities.
That's crazy.
So it's almost like you're giant elking a thing. So the versatility on that I already love. You're removing a bunch of stuff. You can buff your stuff or get rid of a commander. And then the third one, target mutant fights another target creature named Fenric. So then basically you can take, because you're making these 3/3 mutants, basically what you can do here is then remove that commander. So you can go ahead, that mutant that you got, fight Fenric. So the thing with death touch, and it's basically removal there.
Yeah.
There's so many
they're
things.
both going to get removed.
Yes. There are so many different ways to take this. And the thing I love about this card is for 4 mana, there are a million different situations. Maybe you want to make a deal with somebody, make their 1/1 a 3/3 death touch. Maybe you want to make something big. You want to get rid of abilities. You can do so much with this card.
You're looking at this all wrong, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to target 2 of your creatures and make them fight each other.
It's true.
Oh, God.
Well, 1 from each player.
Sorry, one. I'm talking about the 6th one though. The 6th one I have, I'm going to
Oh yeah,
target
you're going to target
one of your creatures, and then I'm going to make
those 2 fight each
them
other.
clash.
Yeah. Okay. Well, the 2 and 1, take them out.
And I think for any of these cards, I think the versatility is the biggest thing. For a lot of these cards, if you're playing it within the deck, it's already got synergies. When I find these like very synergistic decks, finding cards like that, it feels like that can go into any deck with green and white, and each one is going to do something different. There's one more card I did want to talk about, just because. Okay, I'll be honest, 90% of this is because of the creature type, but I also think it's cool. And it's Vrestin Monoptera Leader.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it is X green, white. So you already got me with an X spell. A legendary creature, Alien Insect Scout. It's got flying. When Vrestin enters the battlefield with X +1/+1 counter. So it's got like the Hydra thing going on.
The term alien is so subjective though.
Right.
Well, yeah, I think it's just like a vibe that they go off of. If it's got like,
if it doesn't look human, it's alien.
Yeah,
that's a little bit lazy.
When Vrestin enters the battlefield, create X 1/1 green and white alien insect creature tokens with flying. So this thing is coming in with X +1 counters and entering with X flying 1/1.
It's bringing back up.
Wait. And whenever you attack with 1 or more insects, put a +1/+1 counter on each of them.
And that backup is bringing back up.
Oh my!
I'm gonna be 1,000%. I'm sorry, I'm stuck on the alien thing. You could have just said extraterrestrial, and we would have been fine.
I don't think it would fit on the card. I think they're trying to.
They put Moldrag, the first of his name, up there. You can't put extraterrestrial.
To be fair, you Ken, that is a lot to put on there. But also to back up, Ken,
we just came off with
all the doctors have Time Lord on it.
Yeah.
Guess what Time Lords are? Aliens.
Robert Williams.
Thank you.
No, so this card I love this. It's a legendary creature so you can build as a commander. It's got insect type of stuff going on. But like, you just make a bunch of 1/1s. You get a giant creature, a bunch of 1/1s that buff themselves, green, white, +1 counters. Yeah. This is my favorite card in this deck, because I think in the deck it's gonna do cool stuff.
It's going wide and also going tall.
And going tall.
Yeah.
And because it's an X-Spell, the versatility, so you can play this early game. It's wonderful. Huge fan of this card. And this deck looks really fun. I do like historic stuff. Top deck manipulation. So overall, it seems like it's a good time. And I don't think I have any existing decks with white in them. So it might just be the excuse I need to go ahead and actually get a white deck going.
Join a club.
Hey, let's do it. All right. So now the second deck we're going to go ahead and take a look at. And we'll get you for the technical name of the deck. I think this is Timey Wimey. and this is for the 9th, 10th, and 11th Doctors. So
The best doctors ever.
this is the Jeskai deck. So it's got Suspend, Vanishing, and like other things that it's almost like manipulating time. So you're removing time counters, adding time counters. And it fits with, the time bending in these seasons. That's the whole purpose of these seasons from what it's saying.
So basically with this deck, all you're trying to do is cast things for free. You're using suspend counters at alternate cost. And then you get to manipulate the suspend counters with removing counters, adding counters. So of course you got your clock spinning. And you have other techniques in this deck to help you remove counters. But basically it's casting things, especially your big mana spells, for free. And that is the main focus of this deck. And your doctors and your companions help with this. But there's various standout cards in this deck where I was like, okay, I want that.
Well, so the first thing real quick, the mechanic for this deck is time travel, like you said. And how time travel works is basically says for each suspended card you own and each permanent you control with a time counter, you can add or remove. So specifically that mechanic by itself is letting you manipulate how many time counters you have.
Time counters is back. Joy.
It's doing some work. So who's the face commander for this one?
The face commander, of course, is the best doctor ever, David Tennant, also known as the 10th Doctor. But what I love about this deck is that they have all the major standout doctors in this deck. So you can have the War Doctor, the one doctor who forsake the title of doctor. You have all the best companions in here as well. Clara Oswald, of course, is my favorite. If anybody want to fight me on that, you can step up. I will scrub you in a heartbeat. But then, of course, you have my second favorite, the Dr. Donna. And then you have the trash was in there like Amy Pond. But outside of that, and River Song is in here too, which is
broken.
Broken. Oh my God.
She plays from the bottom of the library.
It's like Grinzo, but better. Like River Song is so top. First of all, she was amazing in the show, especially when you find out she's a Time Lord. And then which makes sense that she
spoilers, man.
Spoilers. Sorry.
You can't say spoiler alert after you say the spoiler.
He doesn't watch the show, so he doesn't get it.
Hey, just play the episode in reverse.
Exactly. Right. So, but there's a bunch of major standout cards in this. A couple of cards that I like to feature is I like this because of the name and the flavor. It's Galaxia Falls and No More. God.
Oh.
Especially they even have the image of Gallifrey when the War of Gallifrey in the back. That's the Gallifrey arc is a whole thing, and I will gladly do an episode on that later, but not tonight. So the Gallifrey Falls, it's an instant for 6, and Gallifrey Falls deals 4 damage to each creature. If a creature dealt damage just the way it dies, it would be exiled instead. And I love this because now we have creatures that have instant and sorcery lifelink. Yeah. So if I do 4 damage to the whole board, guess how much I'm gathering? And then a lot. Yeah, exactly. A crap ton. All right.
That's the scientific term, by the way.
Gluteus maximus. So anyway, and then on the other side, because it's a split card, No More. No More is a 3-card instant. Any number of target creatures you control phase out.
Nice.
So
wait.
Yeah.
This is a new Tap Freeze protection.
This is a new Tap Freeze protection, pretty much.
Okay.
For 3. So that's one. My next card that I would like to feature, of course, is Donna. The Dr. Donna. One, she has Soul Bond. All right. And Soul Bond, of course, you can pair with a creature that enters the battlefield.
First of all, Soul Bond is an underutilized mechanic.
Yes. That's because it's broken. All right. It is broken because everyone either gives you flicker or allows you to get indestructible. So anyway, Dr. Donna says this. It's Donna Noble, but she's known as the Dr. Donna because, you are... Spoilers. Anyway, whenever Donna or a creature it's paired with is dealt damage, Donna deals that much damage to target opponent.
Ooh.
So imagine
Brash Taunter?
Brash Taunter pretty much on Donna. So I'm going to give Blasphemous Act. And then I'm going to put, Aragon out there and give everything indestructible or play anything, 1 card to give it indestructible. All and you're taking this damage.
All right, read that ability one more time.
Whenever Donna or a creature it's paired with is dealt damage, Donna deals that much damage to target opponent.
Yeah, that's how it works.
And then of course they have Martha Jones, the girl who walked the earth. They even have her tagline on there.
Baby.
Yeah, whatever. They have then they have Rose Tyler, also known as Bad Wolf, on here. It is what it is. And then one of my other cards, and this isn't a special card or anything, it's just amazing because I love this creature. But it's the Star Whale. The Star Whale has flying and vigilance. It's an 8/8. Other creatures you control have ward 2, and it has to spend 6 for 2. I love this episode. This is one of my favorite episodes in the entire series, and the fact that we actually have the Star Whale here, I'm literally playing this deck for nostalgia purposes only.
Go for it.
So I like these. I will say, but going into before we kind of got to get a peek at the cards and stuff, not knowing anything about Doctor Who, I was somewhat skeptical, but I like the spice. We're going to spread this spice over a couple videos. So this is part 1. We're going to have part 2 coming out very soon with the other 2 decks. So we're going to have the Villains deck and the Paradox Power deck, both coming up soon. So make sure you check those out. Y'all got any closing thoughts before we kind of wrap it up on these 2?
Yeah, of course.
If you've never been into Doctor Who or this is something new to you, I would say that it's something that you should explore. If you love fantasy, if you love action and adventure, if you love, it even gets dark sometimes too. I know there's elements,
Some
especially
philosophical stuff gets thrown in there.
It's very existential in some cases too. Like it has like a very Black Mirror vibe to it. The villains can be extremely scary in some sense, especially
or extremely stupid.
but I like,
Silly.
for example, like the Weeping Angels, for example, they will terrify you. The Silence will terrify you.
We will feature that in the next video.
Yes,
Exactly.
we'll get into that. That's going to wrap it up for now. If you want any of the cards in this set, hit up the affiliate link down below for TCG Player. Show us some love. Get some of these cards. Beat up your friends with them. That's how we show we love each other.
And of course, as we already mentioned, go ahead and check out the merch over at Into the AM. They have some of the flyest merch that you can buy, especially those space-themed t-shirts, because Doctor Who, space, come on, it just fits. And
Screaming and dripping.
yeah, screaming and dripping.
That's what we
in
do.
the police box in space.
Bam.
Exactly. You gonna call somebody, you better call the police. And I will say, always remember to make sure you stay petty, because on the outside, make sure you calm and collected. But the inside, remember, the petty's always bigger on the inside than it looks.
I don't know what you just said. But
It's a Doctor Who reference, man.
Well, okay.
Do do do.